guess.
Maybe they're making it better.
Considering that we didn't have like a single major fuck up the entire time that we did the D&D stream, and that was what, 5 hours?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Besides, Joel's mic was off for the intro, which was kind of killed.
That was actually my fault, so.
It wasn't Brick's fault by any means, though. Brick, you just do you, you know. How does it feel having all this power, Brick, and just being the greatest guy ever?
It is glorious, and I'm happy you guys are already participating in the Brick Bowl here to see who doesn't have to see cats.
I would have thought that you'd prefer people not kissing your ass because you're
I don't mind the kiss ass because it's just funny because it's clearly you're just playing part of the game. So I respect the dedication, but there are some rules that we're gonna go over. Perhaps that there might be rules, there might not be rules. There might be auto wins, there might be auto disqualifications. Who knows?
So this is definitely a brick game.
Yes, we will figure out who has to see cats by the end of the episode, though. I will guarantee
there's auto disqualifications.
So yes, there is.
I feel like Smithers already got disqualified for some reason.
Why is that?
Wow, you hear that? He's trying to make rules for you.
Wow. Okay, I'm liking both of these spin zones. Now, I was going to have a formal debate between you guys about who should go and who should not, but I felt like this might be a little bit easier, having it a little more free and loose. So argue as you will. You guys will be gathering points, for how good or bad you are, how good your takes are, how bad your takes are. For this episode specifically, I will factor in some things previously said throughout the week, which you may or may not know about. And this will all come through as the episode, progresses. And this is like the artist taking true form right here. And so the points don't matter. It's just like whose line is anyway, but you will gather these points and we'll figure it out. All right.
I'm just going to operate as though I've already lost. So
that's one way.
So obviously, if you haven't been paying attention to this show for the past couple of weeks, this was born of us when the NFL playoffs started. We all drafted a team and we said whoever's team won got to choose who would go see cats because I don't know, because we just needed a stupid bet. I also like that, I could put, technically I lost this bet, so did Mark, but I could have to pay off a bet technically against Mark, even though he didn't beat me he didn't win a bet. He still can't win a fucking bet on this show.
I'm going to win the
Very
XFL
true.
shit that we're going to do, though. DC Defenders, all the way, baby.
Yeah, right. Tampa Bay, let's go. So let's talk. XFL kicks off today. Mark automatically getting deducted points because he pushed our start time back, and now that's cutting into our XFL viewing pleasure.
When do the games start? Unbelievable, Mark. That is minus a point for you. You start -1, Mark.
I think they actually just kicked off right now.
Are you recording the XFL games today?
No, I'm not recording them. I probably should be.
You should be, because it actually helps that we're pushing it back, because then you can skip all the channels if you DVR it, or all the commercials, not channels.
Wow, good point, Mark. Maybe I should add a point to yours. Okay, that's good. We're back to even.
Great. I don't even fucking.
Way to fight. Way to battle, Mark.
I'm really glad. I never thought I would say this, but I'm glad that the XFL is back, because sports in Chicago right now just fucking suck.
Yeah.
The Bulls are terrible. Their coach and their ownership they're all boobs. They're all fucking idiots.
They're the joke of
revamp
not
the
only the
rules
NBA,
again?
but the entire, all the sports combined. They're just the Bulls are so bad.
It's infuriating because the management's not getting fired like they should have been years ago. And I don't even fucking know. They hired a guy who couldn't even get a college coaching job, and then they extended him even though nobody wanted him. It fucking sucks, man. It's infuriating for a team that I've been following my entire life. I'm not going back to the United Center to watch them play until they fire John Paxson, Gar Forman, and Jim Boylan, which is probably not going to happen at least until the end of this season.
Yeah, Boylan is just absolutely the biggest punching bag of all time in the media, and just for Garpax, basically. But they're getting their own. There's the fire Garpax every other weekend, it seems like, over in Chicago, trending on Twitter.
Yeah, it has been for 5 years, because the one time that they got close is when they lucked into the number 1 overall pick. They had a 1% chance, I think, of getting the number 1 pick.
D-Rose.
And even that, they still blame him getting hurt for them sucking forever, which I don't know. The
I
whole-
might
Now
just
D-Rose
become a
is back
Milwaukee
being
Bucks
dope.
fan.
I could watch the Bucks.
Giannis. You haven't been to the Fiserv Stadium, the new
I
stadium
haven't.
they built? It's fucking sweet. There's like a Chick-fil-A around every corner, just eating a spicy chicken sandwich.
Nice.
And they're fucking
In
good.
Milwaukee?
Yeah,
Is your mic on?
I think so. Hold on. Let me keep
Just
talking.
want to make sure.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. So I'm
So
not
what are the
going to Heck this
XFL teams?
week because I returned a lost dog.
You did?
Ooh.
It was
5
really scary.
points for
So
Smithers.
I was actually about to go see Birds of Prey, and my dumb ass actually said, hey, this movie starts at 7, even though it was at 6. That's my fault. But I saw it at a later showing. Anyways, it was really pitch black out, and I was taking out my garbage cans because I was about to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And this little fat, like, Yorkie just comes, like, stumbling up to me. And I was like, hey, little guy. So I just picked him up, and I, like, walked around the block
Yeah.
trying to find the owners. And thankfully, it was an older couple. They were out with their other dog looking for this dog. But I called Erica to tell her, and she just went immediately so dark with it. She was like, thank God you didn't back out of the driveway.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh,
no.
I didn't even think it. Why I wasn't even thinking of that shit.
No.
What a Disney princess brain that is. What
Oh
kind
man,
of
dude, that would have ruined my entire
idiot.
month.
She's been watching Bambi like too often, just seeing the the death right away.
I guess, man, but I don't know. What is the heck version of heaven? Like, it's not quite great. Is it like Buffalo Wild Wings?
It's like Dave and Buster's, probably.
Yeah. Maybe it's Dave and Buster's, but you have like a really good gift card.
Yeah. Unlimited swipes on the
There you
the
go.
game card.
Okay, I like that. I'm not going to heck. I'm going to Dave and Buster's.
Okay, nice.
Or
Fuck.
TGI Fridays. Unlimited apps.
Not a Fridays guy.
Fridays is poopy.
Yeah.
Only like the day.
So I didn't prepare a drop or anything for this, but Brick, you've calculated the winners for the Chump Academy Awards. Obviously, the Oscars are tomorrow night, so we're obviously, as we do, we're a step ahead of the Academy. Fair to say?
Of course. Obviously. But so we don't have a drop, but we do have the winners. We have for most, we should do like a is there like a little
Yeah, the John Cena should be
John
the
Cena,
intro.
we're back again. So I'll start out with the most jaw-dropping moment. And honestly, I thought the boys was going to take this one away, but the Joker with the Murray scene.
Thanks, Murray.
Thanks, Murray. Donk. They won, but the boys was a close second. Now that we go into the best new to streaming, and this was actually very surprising. It was a neck and neck race between Watchmen and the Umbrella Academy.
Wow.
See,
But
you were sleeping on Umbrella Academy. Did you? You didn't watch
did.
that show, did you, Brick?
I watched maybe the first episode or two, and then just like,
Okay.
But
So I think
apparently,
maybe you had a blind spot for that, but I thought it was really good. My wife watched it. She liked it.
Mhm.
You liked it, didn't you?
Yep.
We've actually got an
good.
interview with one of the main characters at C2E2, so
Humble
pretty
brag.
stoked for that too.
well, teaser. Okay, well, I might have to go check out Umbrella Academy now because I've been waiting for something that I've been sleeping on that I missed.
There you go.
Were you guys kind of surprised that the boys didn't win or come in second?
I don't know because I feel like not as many people watched it. Like
That's true.
our specific circle watched it, I think, because we talked about it so much, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
It's weird how like the different votes kind of played out, just for the different, voting platforms that we had. Anyway, I'll get into the most underrated film of 2019. This one was actually the closest because we got the least amount of votes on it, but Peanut Butter Falcon took that one away with Crawl and Ready or Not close behind it with one vote behind on each.
That's a really hard category to peg because
it
like
is.
you're kind of depending on people to see under the radar stuff.
And a lot of people haven't
Exactly.
even seen any of these movies.
Right.
The sequel. This one actually another surpriser, but it kind of ran away with it. Detective Pikachu with the sequel. I think people want to see Ash Ketchum out there. What do you guys think?
Who would play Ash Ketchum? Danny DeVito?
Obviously, the number one answer is Danny DeVito. Points to
The
Smithers.
Rock?
That could work. Yeah, so Detective Pikachu had 12 votes and Alita Battle Angel had 9. And didn't Alita Battle Angel actually get, or no, so I think people are signing a petition.
Because petitions solve everything.
They
obviously.
have a sequel made for Alita Battle Angel.
I will never understand the petition thing, but whatever.
Don't sleep on petitions. People can sign names. And then where does that sheet go? Nobody knows.
Weren't you telling me about a petition to get like Captain Marvel recast?
Yeah, I guess there's a petition. No, there's a petition out there to get kick Brie Larson off of her role as Captain Marvel.
Why?
Who has the time to fucking make all these dumbass petitions?
A lot of people don't like Brie Larson, I guess.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't understand it. If anything, they should be talking about kicking Amber Heard off fucking Aquaman.
Yeah.
Because all this news is coming out. I'm totally hijacking this segment, but she accused Johnny Depp of like beating her. They were married and now they're divorced, I guess, but or separated, whatever. And he lost like a lot of work. Disney kicked him off of
Pirates
of the Caribbean.
Everybody hated him in the Harry Potter follow-ups and shit. And it turns out like there are these recordings coming out now of her like beating him and throwing pots and pans at him and shit and like hiding his medications and
like his cocaine and stuff. Like so fucked up.
How are you going to deprive a guy of his cocaine like that?
Seriously.
Such a bummer.
No, that is fucked up though. If that's so, these are where are these recordings coming from? Did you look into it? Where
I would assume that this is like going to go through the legal system.
Yeah,
because she was trying to press charges, and now Johnny Depp's like, "Well, fuck you." I don't know. Maybe they both suck. I honestly don't know, but whatever.
Okay, can I go back to the
Chump now that I've completely
Awards?
Derailed this, let's get back to our awards.
Yeah, minus points for Smithers for derailing.
I felt like it was an important story.
Only minus 1 point, but
are you really taking points down right now?
No, he already said the points don't matter. He's not even listening to you. Do you hear that, Brick? He's not even listening to you.
Plus a point to Smithers. Okay. The next category we have was absolutely the biggest landslide of all time. We might as well have not even had the category at all. But it was best team up, and The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda just like dominated.
That was a landslide.
No question about it.
I think
People
that's
were
fair.
Like, take this down. I was pissed, dude. But number 2 did have Brad Pitt and the LSD laced cigarette, because when he moneyballed that bitch in the face, that was brilliant. I love
that. Was a good one. That was an unexpected, really good nominee for that category.
Just a fucking 2-finger fastball to the face.
Oh yeah, 2-seamer, dong, broken face. Anyway, best villain. I think this was actually our best category, by the way. Only because of the people that were nominated. Between the top 3 picks, we had Uncut Gems and Spider-Man tied for number 2, aka Jake Gyllenhaal and the gambling addiction from Uncut Gems. But the winner, and by far what I thought was the best, Chernobyl, just the power plant itself, was the biggest victim or villain, still wreaking havoc today. Piece of shit. Anyway, was it the power plant's fault, or was it just the faulty? I mean, it was controlling by the Russians or Ukrainians. It was a lot of everything.
Yeah, probably, and they just like weren't up to code and all that shit, and they tried to hide it and everything.
Yeah, that fucking power plant though.
But I mean, how does the lighthouse from the lighthouse not win this?
I know.
Literally drove them insane.
Do you like how I did that when I was like the lighthouse from the lighthouse? Lighthouse.
Don't chew on that right now.
So our final category that we actually had only on Instagram exclusively, so be sure to be following our Instagram, the Chumpcast. Best cameo, and should we go into it, or what's the deal? I mean, it was a landslide victory, but it is kind of
long enough.
It's been long
enough. It's been long enough. J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, and this close second, not a close second, it was just Bill Murray from the Zombie Double Tap.
I kind of wanted Mr. Mime and Detective Pikachu to win.
He had no love, literally zilch, 0 votes. But I mean, we did have that one up for the shortest duration of time, and we only had it on one platform. So, kind of.
Shout out to everybody in our Twitch chat right now, by the way. Lil Mo Peeps is there, and she's upset that Abu and the Magic Carpet from Aladdin weren't a team up option. It's a good submission.
That is good.
We botched that one. That one slipped right through our fingers on that. Well, it didn't matter because the team up was the Mandalorian Baby Yoda just blew everyone away. I don't think Magic Carpet and Abu would have had much.
I
of a
think
chance,
rightfully
to be
so,
honest.
though. That was the obvious answer for best team up.
Yeah, they dominate. You know what? I don't even. Yeah, I won't get into it. Okay. So what's next?
Is that all the categories? I felt like we had more.
No, we had 6, right? That was 6 categories.
We had 7.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I guess we can get into the news.
News to us. Yeah, we had 7.
All right, let's talk about a couple trailers. Brick, we briefly talked about last week the Jesus Rolls, but that was more of like a teaser for a trailer, which sucks because they do that all the time now. This time we got a full actual trailer, and this looks kind of bad.
Yeah,
I may or may not have gotten a nice little screening of that movie, and it was very meh. But I think they have a great cast. February 28th.
Okay. I was thinking like months down the road, but I didn't even realize there were screeners of this already.
Wait, you saw it?
Yeah. So this movie has a lot of actors in it, but it doesn't really have a lot of. It's just like cameos, I feel. So all those actors, big name actors, don't expect them to be in it very long.
Technical difficulties.
No, you're fine.
Good?
That was just on our end. You're fine.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I should probably move that thing from in front of your face, though.
There you go.
So,
so the cast looks good, though. It had John Hamm, Susan Sarandon, Christopher Walken, Pete Davidson. So you're saying, I think that the red flag for me was that the Coen brothers were just like, yeah, we didn't really want to do this. We don't want to put our stamp of approval on it, which is not a good sign.
Right. And it's because it doesn't really have anything to do with the original besides like somewhat of it's in the same universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just the Jesus who was in the movie for 4 minutes.
Yeah, and so like there's probably a lot of references that I may or may not have caught, but I'm thinking it was give me like a 6.9. Like I was interested the whole time, but it was just basically
nice.
It was nice. And also it was just about like I felt like it was just about gang banging the whole time, honestly.
Weird.
Was Pete Davidson a gangbanger?
Pete Davidson, yeah, no, he gets off. He gets off.
Like
he gets a girl off. And he fucks. He fucks. He does.
Okay.
Pete Davidson fucks on the show with his beady ass eyes.
Come on, dude.
I think that's
6.9.
just them reaching for a younger younger audience is just throwing Pete Davidson in this.
Right, maybe. But all of those are more cameos than they are actual. I guess they're a little bit longer than cameos, but not much longer.
Okay.
So
interesting. Okay. Let's talk about a trailer that maybe looks a little better. We got this during the Super Bowl, which was the only thing that my wife actually cared about. My wife, Minions 2.
Thank you.
The
Points for
Rise
Smithers.
of Gru, in which you get a 3-minute trailer where they tell you the entire plot of the movie.
I'm still kind of interested in this.
I'll see it.
Little guy Gru?
Yeah, they're
with
funny.
hair?
It's baby Steve Carell, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he's
Baby
he's
Gru.
like,
I don't know, he's like
Baby
8, I
Gru.
guess.
an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's the new thing is Baby Gru.
It's baby everything
Sonic.
right now. Baby Pete.
Exactly.
Can we talk about Baby Mr. Peanut? Baby Nut.
Was there a Baby Nut commercial? I didn't see it.
Did you even watch Super Bowl?
Planners?
Yeah. They killed off Mr. Peanut for like 30 seconds and then immediately brought him back. It was the biggest dumb marketing money grab ever. I thought it was terrible, but
Baby Nut. I didn't even notice it, honestly.
it was like they had this commercial and it had like the Kool-Aid man in it. God damn it. I just took that away from you.
He loves that dragon toy. It's got a good squeak.
Yeah, he's just asking for attention. Anyways, any thoughts on Rise of Gru? There's like nuns with nunchucks and I don't know.
I like the premise of it, and I feel like they kind of keep it somewhat fresh when it comes to those minions because they kind of have spin-offs of their own, and they've
had like 6 of these already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with this one being Baby Gru,
And a
supposedly,
period piece.
he's taking on like the six supervillains. So I like kind of the reverse action of like it's the anti-hero a step like taking down the Justice League of villains. So I kind of like that concept. It was interesting, but
Okay. Yeah, I won't
It is
really
what
have a
it is.
choice. I'll have to go see this because Erica will want to.
I'm just surprised. I'm surprised these haven't gone straight to DVD yet, since there has been like six. I think there's been what, 3 Minions movies or 2.
This is the second Minions movie, but I think
it?
there's been 3 Despicable Me's.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
whatever. They must be doing well.
Yeah, they're making money. So that's, and if you go to like Universal Studios, there's giant minions walking everywhere. They merchandise the shit out of it. It's
Yeah, they're cute. They're funny.
yeah, they're good at what they do. You can make old people can make racist memes on Facebook out of them. It's fun. Okay. Also during the Super Bowl, we got our first look at clips from Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki. We don't have to go terribly deep into this, but I thought that WandaVision looked really interesting.
Can you tell
I'm
us
so
what is
sold
going
on it.
with that?
So, obviously, if you're caught up in the Avengers movies, you know that Thanos killed Vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are several storylines in the comics where Wanda basically just goes, for lack of a better term, insane and just creates an alternate reality,
Okay.
which it kind of seems like is going on here.
Why are we getting them in like decade segments? It seems like in the trailer.
So our guy E-Man posted a nice little graphic kind of showing like what they were drawing from, like I Love Lucy and Leave It to Beaver and all that shit. I think it's basically like her brain creates these scenarios based on sitcoms that she grew watching up.
Oh, okay.
She watched
Grew up
growing
watching.
up.
That's the point for there's you stumbling idiot.
Wow. Ouch. But I think
The
this is really
power.
interesting. At one point, like you can see, if you're familiar with the comics, you know that she created kids of theirs at one point. Like she had 2 kids, and I don't know. It's going to be a really weird, trippy kind of scenario, and I'm pretty interested in this.
So is this your favorite Disney Plus Marvel show that they're going to come out with from what you've seen?
That's pretty hard to say because the Loki thing was just 2 seconds of Loki talking into the camera.
It's weird that these are all the characters that we had in the movies, and you don't get a lot of this sorts of thing.
You never get this.
where they throw
It's
them in.
new.
just a
This is
television
a
show.
new thing that they're doing, and I think I'm big sold on it, honestly, because they're having the big production value with all these series that are now. When are they coming out? Do we know?
2 of them come this year. Loki doesn't come till next year.
Okay, so that's why we got very
Falcon
little.
and Winter Soldier will be first.
Okay, so that looks really good. I'm excited to see how Anthony Mackie, year of Anthony Mackie, apparently, by the way. I wonder how he takes over the burden of being Captain America and kind of how the public takes him and sees if they really accept him as Captain America and what Bucky's role is in all of this. So I'm actually pretty pumped to see this.
Second E-Man mention, he doesn't think that Anthony Mackie has the chops to carry a show, like as the lead. So later
got
this
2.
month, we're going to see a trailer that we'll talk about later in Altered Carbon. So he's going to be a lead in that. And technically, he's going to kind of split it with Bucky
Yeah.
in Falcon Winter Soldier. But also, Daniel Bruhl is coming back, and he was really good as Baron von Zemo. So you've already got a villain that people are familiar with. This is something that only Disney could pull off. They're the only company that could get these actors to come and be like, okay, do a streaming TV show where you reprise your billion-dollar movie characters. So, yeah, I'm pumped for this, and it'll finally make Disney Plus worth paying for again.
Thor: Love and Thunder. That's going to be
That's a
movie
movie.
release.
Yeah.
Do you think Disney Plus will ever make it so exclusive to where they're like, hey, we're actually going to release this movie on Disney Plus, and then maybe we'll release it in a theater a week later or the same time as the theater?
I don't think that makes sense because they're still billion-dollar box office movies.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not sure that makes sense as a business strategy.
Because then you're paying for like the theaters to show them, but you're also just giving it to the streaming service. Everybody's going to watch it at home. I feel like it's only the super tryhards, which they have that fan base, they have that audience to do that. But I think it's more or less that wouldn't happen. I think they're finally bridging the gap between the Netflix series that they kind of wanted to go, the TV series. They just like they weren't quite at the level of like the big blockbuster movies, and now they're tying into the series. So I'm sold on that.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a period piece all day for Wanda's visions.
Period pace. They're kind of going to jump
Period
around
pace.
all over decades, which is, I think, also interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. This is interesting. I'm kind of going to defer to you, Mark, first on this. Spiral, the Saw spinoff with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a reboot? What is happening, and why isn't Chris Rock like being funny?
I'm actually a terrible person to throw this towards because I've only seen like 2 Saw movies.
They're all the same.
Yeah, I figured. Actually, maybe more than that. I saw one where the guy's in a contraption. It's just slowly twisting his like head and arms and shit.
That's the third one or something. I saw like the first 3, or I probably saw other Saws here and there, but
you wouldn't be able. They're like Fast and Furious movies though, where you can't tell which one is which. You just know that
it's all torture porn. It's all torture porn.
Isn't Chris Rock the executive producer in this too?
Yes.
Did you say that?
He's producing, directing, and starring.
And then we have the young Colin Farrell. He looks like a young Colin Farrell. I don't know his name.
I guess I missed
He's
that.
his partner, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. You got Colin Farrell from that?
Kind of. I don't know. I don't really care for these movies, hence why I only saw like 2 or 3 of them.
Saw, got him.
See, I was under the impression, nice pun, Smithers, you get a point for that, and also a point because Mo Peep said points to give to Smithers, so you get points because Mo said it. Also, I wanted this to be, I thought this was going to be like a parody of Saw, more or less, and I can still be on board with this if it's
like a scary movie parody.
Not like that over the top scary, but I think it's Chris Rock being like, this is absolutely absurd, kind of parodying that way. So there still is like kind of a dark, it's self-aware, and it's like more of a dark humor rather than like the over the top goofy humor that a scary movie would be. So I wanted to go in that direction. I thought that's the direction he was going to go. I'm not sure with this trailer just because it just seems like it's going to be a serious drama.
Yeah.
But Samuel L. Jackson can give us some levity. I think they can do a really good semi-serious parody of the Saws because it's just been done so many times. And in the trailer, it seems like they're kind of going back to their roots of the original Saw. Right?
Yeah, it does kind of seem that way. They're targeting cops, and you get the Samuel L. Jackson motherfucker.
You got to get a Samuel Jackson motherfucker in there, obviously.
Do you think he's going to go out in this movie like he did in Deep Blue Sea? Where he's like,
hate me.
No, what was he screaming? He's like, we gotta kill these motherfucking sharks. And then he just gets eaten by one.
He gives this like
Deep Blue
really
sea.
Motivational speech. Like, we gotta pull together and get out of it. And then the shark just,
some of the worst CGI too, but it was
lose our shit now.
Amazing.
It's fucking great. All-time movie moment.
Maybe the little Saw guy in the tricycle will just come when he's mid-speech and just slice his head
cut his Achilles tendon and just ride away on his little bike. All right, last trailer for the week is Altered Carbon Season 2. We mentioned this with Anthony Mackie's going to take over for Joel Kinnaman. So if you remember this universe or you saw the show or
I don't remember it. I can't tell you fucking anything that happened.
Basically, it's in the future, and instead of like when you die, you're dead, they take a disc out of your neck with all your memories and your thoughts and everything. It's basically transferring consciousness so you don't really die anymore.
Yeah, Joel McKinnon's
Kinnaman.
His real personality was in like an Asian guy, right? Or something.
So the character is Takashi Kovacs.
Okay.
Takashi 69 Kovacs. No, but yes, so Anthony Mackie's going to be the main character. For this season, you'll get flashbacks to the Asian character, Takashi Kovacs, the original. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I liked the books. I thought season 1 was pretty good, even though they kind of took some liberties. But we'll see.
Do you think we get a Joel Kinnaman flashback?
I hope so, because his voice is sexy as fuck. I could just listen to that guy talk forever.
For sure. I actually liked how they shot it too, like the colors they used with it. It had
cyberpunk, very cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, or what's the movie with what's his name? Oh, Blade Runner.
Okay.
Like a Blade Runner type feel with a bunch of neon lights and it's in the future type thing.
Okay.
But I did like it from what I can remember. Yeah, they need to bring back Kinnaman for sure.
I don't feel like it had a lot of staying power, like in your memory. Like I don't think it was something where you're like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna forget this.
Remember, it was long as fuck. It was like 12 episodes, and they're all like over an hour.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of scenes that that I thought stuck out to me when I saw it, but now they're kind of are fading away. But I remember being like, there was a scene that literally took me back. I remember being like, oh, what the? But I can't remember. He's like in the doctor's office or something like that.
There's some really good violence.
Mm-hmm.
There's great violence in it. That's one thing that I'm pumped to see. Because I mean, Anthony Mackie's doing all these different movies with all these different choreography of fight scenes. So I could see it being good.
All right.
I want to see how Anthony Mackie turns out as the solo actor.
Yeah, I'm interested.
See what he's
I'll
got.
definitely be watching. This comes the end of this month, so excited for that. In other news, hallelujah, Netflix is finally giving us the option to kill the autoplay function. This drove me nuts forever. I think it's really dumb. Like, I want to mindlessly just scroll through what's on Netflix. That's almost as entertaining as some of the shows that they put out. It's just like scrolling through, like, oh, I remember that movie. The autoplay drove me fucking insane.
Is that when it like plays a little trailer clip?
It'll either start playing the movie or it'll play literally the trailer for a movie or a TV show.
But it's like where the title is. It's not. It doesn't take up your full screen, does it?
No, it doesn't. But the sound part, like, will kick on. It won't take up the whole screen, but it'll expand it.
Okay.
It just drove me insane. It was like going to an old fucking MySpace page and somebody's music starts playing.
Yeah. Okay.
I hated that.
I did like it though for the purposes of like if I had no idea what this movie was, but it's like on a recommendation or something, I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna watch the first 10 seconds and see if it looks decent at all.
But you can still, like, the option will still be there to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
When you're scrolling through. So I didn't get it.
It's clicks, man.
I guess.
Clicks though. 2 clicks compared to 1, it makes a huge difference.
Now I just need Netflix to stop judging me when I binge watch a show and they stop in the middle of it and ask me if I'm still watching. All right. Better news. Sam Raimi. You guys know Sam Raimi. He did the original Spider-Man trilogy, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. He's a really big name in horror.
Yep.
He did the Ash versus Evil Dead TV show and everything. So he's in talks to direct Doctor Strange 2. What?
The Grudge 2, Boogeyman, 30 Days a Night.
I think he was producing those movies, but I could be wrong.
Still had a nice little hand in the Flintstones. Anyway.
Viva Rock Vegas or the original?
The original.
Nice.
He was the one that came out on the SDCC panel and was saying it was going to be the scariest Marvel movie. And
no, that was the other guy.
Oh, this is another horror guy?
This is a new director.
Oh, yeah, they kicked him off.
Right?
Yeah,
they kicked that guy out because he was kind of saying the opposite thing that Kevin Feige was saying. And you don't argue with Kevin Feige if you want to keep your job. But I'm really, really good with this. I think it'd be great because he has Army of Darkness for me is just an all-time like campy horror comedy. And that's exactly what I want out of Doctor Strange.
Was that like the first CGI movie ever?
Army of Darkness?
Wasn't it all CGI like skeleton guys?
Not
right?
really.
With swords and shit?
There are a bunch of skeleton guys and shit, but it was more practical effects than anything else.
Really? Okay.
They also did a scene where it was like all these little Bruce Campbells came out and attacked big Bruce Campbell. Fucking hilarious movie. If you haven't seen it, absolutely give it a watch. But I think this is perfect because of the horror comedy mix that he does. And other news about this is that Rachel McAdams is not coming back to reprise her role as the nurse. And kind of maybe a love interest or whatever she was. I don't know.
If you ask me who was the nurse in Doctor Strange 1, I cannot tell you.
Yeah, I feel like this movie came out fucking 10 years ago.
Came out like 6-7 years ago, I think.
It's been a while, but it hasn't been that long. So, Brick, you seem like you had something you wanted to say about Sam Raimi.
No, I was going to talk about that nurse gig. Honestly, it just didn't fit her. It just seemed like it was fine. She didn't really do anything with it that really stuck out to me specifically. So I can pick
she needs to be in a Channing Tatum movie or.
Wow, way to box her in.
Same with him. He needs her.
Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Was she in Magic Mike?
Wait, you said Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
No, she was in The Notebook with Gosling. Is she in more Channing Tatum movies or Gosling movies?
I have no idea.
As his love interest.
This is definitely your
I think it's Channing Tatum.
I think
it's minus points for Mark.
You came into my house last night to grab some stuff, and my wife was watching Very Cavallari.
Love it.
My wife.
And you were literally just like, oh, is this the episode where XYZ happens? And I was just like blown away. Like, you just need to hang out with her while she's watching that shit, and I go play video games or something.
Just wait. Nope. You get sucked in a little bit, though.
I do not. No.
I'm sure you get sucked in a little bit.
No. She claims to not watch trash TV, but she does. Like, she watches 90 Day Fiance and all this other shit. I do not understand the allure of it at all.
Who's the the mic person where they sing and they reveal like the guy behind the costume,
The
the
Masked
masked
Singer.
singer.
Yeah.
Doesn't she like that one?
She did. I
used
don't
to?
think she watched this season,
Okay.
but
Good
we
for
did
her.
start watching that Lego
win-
show.
I don't have the patience for them to take off the mask. I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you?
Also, you're just guessing like from a million different celebrities. They
know,
give
it's
you
like,
a
okay.
clue like this person was in a movie once. Well, okay, that could be fucking anybody ever.
Yeah,
So-
they should
Yeah.
narrow it down to like maybe a draft break. That would be like a genius idea you would
Okay.
have. You know,
This is clearly an
Where-
attempt to kiss your ass.
Good point. Good point. Good point, Mark.
good point.
Plus 2
and
points.
points. All right, cool.
Okay, fair enough. The Disney Insider is reporting that Rick Moranis is currently in early talks to reprise his role as Wayne Zelinsky in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the reboot. Kind of a
Was it-
dark story turn. They were talking about like him losing his wife, which is actually what happened in real life, but he
messed
kind of
up.
goes into hiding and shit. I'm all about bringing back Rick Moranis, but I don't know. This dark thing, I don't remember these movies having that dark lean.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be a dark lean. Isn't Josh Gad going to be the other lead
s-
role in that?
Yeah, like the grown-up son who
Yeah,
now
so
is a
I think-
scientist.
do you think that
Exactly,
ant
I
is
think-
still alive?
That's
I don't know how
The
long.
ants?
How long do ants live?
Like
I
5
think
years,
ants-
I think, or something.
but would they get an extended lifetime if they were bigger?
I don't know.
Could
I
be.
doubt
That's-
it because
it's actually a
bigger they
great
are,
point,
usually
Rick.
they. Excellent kiss assing, Mark. Excellent.
Isn't it like tall people though? Like you don't see old tall people, which I'm gonna die way young.
Good point.
Because you
Smithers,
just have
you're gonna die
like
sooner, I'll give you a
circulation
point for
issues
that.
and your heart can't hold up and shit.
Yeah, you're just like too much is going on. You're just like, ugh. I have to go all the way to your feet from my brain and my heart. Blood,
Always
this isn't
told. I'm
working
for
out.
sure gonna die when
This
I'm
isn't
like 50.
working out.
I
Yeah.
think Smithers is trying to make you feel bad for him, Brick, but I could tell that's not working for you, you know, because you're smarter than that. You're smarter
You're
than
saying that I
You're
have,
such
you're
a
saying I have no
coward,
empathy?
Mark. You are such
you
a
saying I have no
fucking
empathy?
coward. All you can do is kiss ass. You know, I would never sell out my soul like that.
Wow.
Just for 90 minutes of suffering.
You hearing this, Brick?
I don't even care.
Yeah, minus
Make
a
me watch
point
Cats.
for
I
not
don't fucking care.
Selling out your soul. Minus a point.
I don't care.
Um,
So we talked this week. Oh, wait, one more bit of news. During a recent interview with Total Film, John Krasinski, aka Jim from The Office and the director of A Quiet Place, he said he would love it if Marvel considered him as Mr. Fantastic.
Reed Richards, I could see that.
Well, we
Definitely.
can see it because Boss Logic, my personal friend,
Did it. Yeah.
he
Made it
did like
happen.
the rendering of him with gray sideburns and him in like the blue suit and stretchy.
Honestly, Jim from The Office, aka Krasinski, is gangly as fuck. He would be a perfect Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
With his gangly ass appendages just everywhere.
And there are stories because he wanted to be Captain America at first.
Mhm.
And he showed up for the audition and he saw Chris Evans there. And Jim was still all skinny and shit. And he saw Chris Evans. He was like, well, I'm fucked. I'm not going to get this fucking role. So
Yeah, no.
Look at his butt.
this is the perfect, counter to that.
And Emily Blunt could be Sue Storm.
I think that would be perfect.
That would
So-
work. Kelly watched A Quiet Place for the first time last night, by the way.
What'd she think?
She loved it.
Yeah?
The reason I know that is because she was not on her phone. She's
Didn't
maybe
fall
on her
asleep
phone
in the
like
middle of
once
it?
or twice. Yeah. So she was definitely engaged.
All right.
It's a good
That's
movie.
that's
though.
rare.
Yeah, Brick, you still got to
It's
catch
funny.
that. It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you
I
haven't
do,
watched
I
it yet,
do,
Brick?
I do. I have not. That's been a skip on me.
Are we doing best, man?
We're gonna do recommendations. So we're gonna switch this up a little bit this week because I think from now on, I think when we're going to talk spoilers for a movie, we should probably put the recommendations before that so people don't have to like fast forward and shit and skip around.
Okay.
But
You know
let's
what?
do
That's a really good point, and that was one of my ideas. So I will actually give you a point for that, Smithers. Good for you.
Can you dock a point from Mark because he's upstairs peeing with the door open?
Yes, I will. Peeing with the door open.
Such a dirtbag thing to do. Like I don't even
I-
care, but
I agree, and also exploiting him on this, exposing him. I mean, on the,
just
on
gotta
the audio
completely
is
just
great.
throw him under the bus at any opportunity.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Throwing Mark under the bus is also a plus a point.
So Brick, I think this show is up your alley. Have you been watching Avenue 5 on HBO?
Yes, I have. What do you think of it?
I think it's just the right level of like sadistic but kind of funny. Bad things keep happening to these people and you hate all the characters, but it's still funny enough that it keeps me interested.
I am with you on that, as in it's not quite like laugh out loud funny as you'd expect as from like an HBO comedy. It's supposed to be a comedy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But there is kind of the parts of the drama, but it's mainly a comedy. But I would give it again like a 6.5. I want to give it like a 7, but it's entertaining. It's keeping my attention span throughout, and I tune in every week, definitely. But what do you think of some of the characters on that? I mean, I like
Hugh Laurie's good.
He's
AKA
the captain.
Dr. House.
He's not the captain, right?
Yeah. That's the other thing, is there some really good kind of twists in it where you're just like, oh, I didn't even think that was a possibility to happen.
Exactly. And it's just things just keep happening and they're getting worse and worse. And it's just like a tragic comedy in a certain way. But it's funny how they're handling situations. They're from the creators of Veep and the writers of Veep. So they have like that wit to it. And they have a lot of snide comments and like the remarks back and forth from each other, from like their power dynamics have always been, solid. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Okay. One other thing I wanted to recommend. I think this just started. It's also on HBO, but it's an HBO doc, and everybody knows how good HBO docs are.
I was going to recommend this.
Go for it.
Well, I haven't even watched it. I was just going to say I just realized that this released.
Okay.
McMillions, which is about the whole Monopoly scandal. My mom is probably ripping her hair out because I can't even count to you the many of times that my mom would just want to go to McDonald's with us because she could start collecting these fucking little Monopoly rip-off stickers or whatever and put it on the board. It was like, it was a good time because McDonald's was huge. That was like back when they had this and it was booming, was during the times of like you would have birthdays at the place and all that kind of stuff. So it brought people together to where like my mom would go out and like talk to neighbors and they would talk about the pieces they had and see if they can match them up to see if they were winners.
Right.
But you end up realizing supposedly this documentary just tells you there was like the mob involved and it was just a complete fraud. I don't think anyone won.
I saw the first episode. And it is.
How was it?
Try not to spoil anything because I think
I won't
really,
spoil anything.
Okay.
I will just say they take it from the perspective of a few people from within McDonald's, but it's mainly taken place between like the main guy is the FBI agent who kind of cracked the case more or less. And for being an FBI agent, this guy's actually pretty funny. He's like a hilarious funny person. You
like
saw it too?
Super type A, like I got to control everything, and like I want to be. He's like Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, exactly. But he's also like he kind of like Mark eccentric, where he's like he'll laugh about a certain situation, but then he'll like keep digging in a way. I don't know, just the way
he like cuff the hamburger and like bring him into the fucking and you start choking him out. He's like, "You fucking tell me," beating the shit out of him. His purple ass head.
You would do, Mark? I like that. No,
was he not purple?
No, that's Grimace.
Oh fuck!
Can you deduct a point from him for not knowing who Grimace is? Thank you.
Grimace.
The Grimace was the giant purple guy. The
Hamburglar was the burglar.
Yeah, yeah, he was a burglar. Fuck.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I love the show though.
Has anyone in the stream chat seen in the Twitch chat seen the first episode?
Yeah, let us know if you've seen it if you're interested. So this was actually it started out as an article. It was really, really well written and well researched and everything. Came out like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was on the Daily Beast, I think.
Okay.
So they kind of broke this story, and then Mark Wahlberg came in and was like, I want to make this a fucking documentary.
This is a good documentary.
Hey man, this is a really good documentary. Yeah, so that's what this is, and I think it's really well done. Definitely excited for more of it. And it's like it's true crime, but it's not like kids getting murdered or something, or hey, Slender Man told me to sacrifice somebody.
So you saw the first episode too.
I did, yeah.
Shit. All right.
Yeah.
Mark,
I know the full story though because I remember the article and podcasts have talked about it and stuff, but it's still really interesting stuff. Brick, do you have a recommendation?
I do have a recommendation, but Mark, you will get 5 points if you give me a good Mark Wahlberg impression pitching billions, pitching McMillions.
All right, so you have this hamburger guy, and he's like purple.
Hang on. You know? Stop right there. Can you not say hamburglar? Because that's like the third time you said hamburger.
Hamburger. Hamburger guy.
You found another word that Mark can't say.
Hamburger. That's a hard ass word to say. Are you kidding me?
Hamburglar.
Hamburger. Hamburglar. I'm trying to put the L before the U, but the U is after the L or before the L. Fuck. Hamburglar. Oh, it's really simple if you just like slow down a little bit.
Oh, that's a new drop for sure.
All right, so we got this hamburger guy. Can't fucking still say it, but I don't even care because I'm gonna be the hero in this movie. And I grab this fucking Grimace guy, and boom, we get a bunch of Monopoly pieces. And hey. All right, that was the best impression.
Has Mark Wahlberg ever said hey?
I don't know.
Sound like Krusty the Clown.
How many points did I get, Brick?
Yeah, plus 5 points for the Marky Mark reference, plus 5 more points for the Hamburger comment.
Hamburglar, come on.
Yep. But Smithers got points for pointing it out.
All right. Shit.
for making you repeat hamburger a dozen times.
What'd you say?
Hamburger. That's what you're saying.
That's what you're saying.
Hamburglar.
Fuck. Hamburglar.
You tried to Bugs Bunny you. You tried to Bugs Bunny you with your own word. With the word you can't say.
Post-apocalyptic.
Perfect.
Post-apocalyptic. Boom.
I also wanted to mention Brooklyn Nine-Nine is back. The Good Place wrapped up. This is kind of where sitcoms and stuff are starting to pick back up. So if you're into that stuff, keep an eye out.
Okay, so here's my recommendation. I did finish already because I super binged through it. Mythic Quest, which is the new show on Apple TV with Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just a quick pitch. Just some of the characters are hilarious, in my opinion. This is created for me. Mac is a billionaire video game creative director. So he's basically just like Mac, but a psycho billionaire making a game. An ostentatious Aussie outspoken female lead coder. She's great. She bickers with Mac back and forth fantastically. They have great banter. Cricket is the executive producer, and he tries to make everybody work. But
Rickety Cricket is in this.
Rickety Cricket is the manager, and he just gets shit on and tries to keep order between everybody, and it's not working. He's a perfectly written character. Joe is a young assistant who's addicted to power and plays both sides of the fence between Rickety Cricket and Mac from, like, he's kind of the creator there.
That's a character.
Exactly. Evil Abed, basically, he's the guy who makes all the microtransactions for the game. Lesbian gamer girls, and then there's a fat gamer Newman. And they intertwine like a very random but remarkably believable love story somewhere between there, and it's actually good. The jokes got funnier. I actually want to rewatch it because of how neurotic their characters are, and finding these consistencies throughout it, and makes the jokes even better. Honestly,
I didn't know you had Apple TV.
I do.
You hear that? He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't know that you stole your parents' login.
And that's not
why would
true.
you assume
It's
that?
Lauren's login.
He told me he did.
It's Lauren's login, actually.
Fair. Were you on that? Nah,
you don't listen to him. It's Lauren's login.
That's just a classic case of like too many streaming services, though. Did
absolutely.
DC Universe lapse? We're not fucking re-upping that, are we?
No.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. Even though there's going to be a second season of Doom Patrol, which I really liked.
And Titan season 3 will be next year. Well, this year.
What did you guys think?
All that
did you guys
shit's
watch
gonna
the
move to
Harley
HBO.
Quinn show?
Yeah.
Sorry, say again?
Did you guys watch that Harley Quinn show?
I watched a couple episodes. It's fine.
It's decent.
Honestly,
kind of funny.
Well, we'll get to that, but it's kind of in the same vein as Birds of Prey was.
Yeah, but better. To be honest.
Kinda.
To be honest, better cast.
Yeah. All right, let's hold on to that. I gotta drop. I gotta play.
Okay.
Best.
We the best.
Worst.
The worst. She's the worst person in the world. Huge skank, terrible. But thank you.
So I'd be fine if nobody else had one and we could just shit on this guy for 10 minutes. But Dave Daubenmire is this guy who's planning to sue the NFL, claiming that the Super Bowl halftime show was discriminatory against Christians and is possibly impeding his path into heaven.
And how much money is he trying to sue him for?
I would assume like $1 billion.
I thought it said $1 trillion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I swear it was like 1.3 trillion.
I respect it for aiming high, but also like, dude, you can't. What's the difference if someone's like wearing a bathing suit and you think they're attractive? You're giving me boners. I'm gonna sue you. You know, I'm gonna sue you. I'm going to hell now because I want to jerk off to you. Like, fuck, dude. What are you doing, you old crazy psycho?
So you easily could have just turned it off or changed the channel or literally anything.
No. Turn this up, Darwin. I need to hear every second of this. I'm going to hell, boy. Like, what? Dude.
Also, this is definitely this is giving off the vibes of like a senator who is so anti-gay that you just know that he's actually gay.
I love all the like
you oozing it.
There was multiple like old man pissed off posts about how J-Lo was holding up the Cuban flag when it was the Puerto Rican flag, and I'm just like, oh my god,
people are such fucking idiots.
So stupid.
Like, if you're going to be mad about it, at least know what you're mad about.
Why would you be mad about that?
I don't know. They're literally in Miami.
Seems I'm a song in my body.
I don't know. It was a weird halftime show. A lot of butt shaking. It was fine.
When she was like...
But it's Shakira. Her name is Hips Don't Lie. The name of like one of her best songs is Hips Don't Lie. So you got to shake your shit.
And J-Lo was literally just in a movie where she was like the best stripper in the world. So, of course, she was going to be on a fucking stripper pole.
Of course. And they're in Miami, so...
Hustlers?
Oh, yeah. Play to the culture, man. They liked that. It was spicy. It was spicy out there, honestly. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a perfectly acceptable... Fine. Anyways, fuck this guy.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck that guy.
Mark, do you have a best man alive?
His old balls. You know, like I was thinking about this all week, and like I've just been blown away by...
If you say Brick...
I mean, how smart Brick was to pick the Chiefs. Just
fuck off.
I just didn't even realize like the Chiefs had it in them, but Brick knew. He knew because he is just way ahead of the game. Congrats to you, Brick, on picking the Super Bowl winner and getting to pick one of us to go see Cats. If it's me, I guess I'll go see it because I always make do on my bets.
You're such a kid.
A man of honor. A man of honor.
All right, I take issue with that. You're going to call Mark a man of honor?
Objection.
Fuck this guy. Fuck you,
after
Mark.
After the episode, I will allow for a final argument for and against why each of you should see it. So stay tuned.
Whatever. Brick, do you have a best man alive?
You?
I'm the man. It's me. Minus points for Smithers for not making me the best man alive, obviously. Big points for Mark. Well,
I'm glad at least one of us prepared for this fucking segment.
Don't talk shit to me. Minus points.
I don't even care anymore.
Okay, what's next?
The movie review.
Even the people in the Twitch chat see that you're full of shit. Sheets is out here telling you that you are so full of shit, and he is right.
Sheets, don't do that. You know I'm not. You know Brick is the man. You know it.
Such a kiss.
Sheets does know that, actually.
Coward.
Sheets does know that.
Didn't you used to work with Sheets at the liquor store?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was my favorite. Baby. Going in there and just like hanging out and getting drunk.
Just taking booze.
No. Points, nostalgia points. You know me, period piece. Eastern Illinois.
We always paid for the booze. Like we weren't stealing anything.
It was fucking Burnett's. Yeah, it was like $6 for a handle.
Dude, the best was you go in there and buy whatever shitty rum, like Sailor Jerry or whatever, and they gave you a 6-pack of Diet Coke. It was fucking... I miss college
Or
sometimes.
Evan Williams.
Yeah.
Everything was so cheap back then. That was brilliant.
All right, let's talk about Birds of Prey. I'm not going to do the full name.
Wait, did he just say yeast lollipop for everyone?
Yes, he did. Gross.
Ew, dude.
Birds of Prey and the really long name that I'm not going to say. This is a really dumb name.
Fantabulous Birds of Prey. Emancipation Proclamation.
82% on Rotten Tomatoes, 84% from fans. Directed by a woman named Kathy Yan, who I don't think has really done any...
She did John Wick, I thought.
No. Absolutely not. Yes.
You sure?
She absolutely did not direct John Wick.
She not direct, but she was a part of something, I thought. Hold on. We got to look this up. Kathy Yan. Where did I hear that from? I wouldn't have just made that up.
Nice. I'm glad. That's something you can't get rid of, Brick. He just pulled up his Gateway hoodie, Gateway Liquors.
Nice. Kathy Yan on John Wick director's contributions for film.
So you literally just read her name in a headline and
No,
thought
hold
that
on.
she was the director of John Wick.
I don't know.
Admiral Nelson, LOL.
Fuck yeah. Anyways,
Maybe
you keep
not.
looking that up and I'll
Maybe
keep
not.
going. I think you're full of shit.
Yeah.
This was written by a woman named Christina Hodson, though. She also wrote Bumblebee, which I thought was decent. It wasn't great, but it was better than all the other shitty Transformer movies.
I remember liking Bumblebee, being like, Transformers are almost back. I
It was at
appreciated
least
that.
interesting.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But the other thing that she's slated to write is this Flashpoint movie that we might maybe eventually possibly get. I don't know. This movie's been in development hell forever, and they keep saying they're going to put it out, and they never have. So I think it actually should have come out by now, and that's how far behind they are on it. But this movie had an $85 million budget, and so far is pacing for a $50 million domestic opening weekend, which is very not good. They're talking about this being the lowest DC opening since Jonah Hex.
Yeah, there were not too many people in my theater.
I was going to ask you, Brick,
Same.
was there anybody in your theater to see this movie?
Maybe 1 or 2 rows max.
Same. I couldn't really figure it out. Like, it's February. There's nothing else out.
Yeah.
I also had a brutal windstorm, like a snowstorm up here in Denver, and they don't clean the streets at all. So that probably didn't help. Mine was 25 minutes away. It was brutal to get out there, honestly.
Rough. I went to the wrong movie time, so whatever. Shout
Well, you
out
saved
to
the dog.
AMC, though, for just saying, whatever, go see the later show.
Yeah, they're like, nobody's seeing this anyways.
Plus, I already
That's
paid
a
for a
good point.
ticket, so whatever.
You
That's
could have
true.
bought a different ticket to a movie. You could have done that and just
Yeah.
walked in there because there was nobody really in the theater.
Yeah, whatever. So the story of this movie, Harley Quinn and the Joker broke up. Everybody thinks that they can kill her now just because there will be no repercussions.
Yeah.
Roman Sionis, a.k.a. Black Mask, wears mascara and has daddy issues, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's after a gem, excuse me, with some bank account numbers in it. People get murdered and they say the F word a lot. Roll credits. Yeah.
You forgot about Victor Zsasz is in this.
Dude, that
His
made me
right-hand man.
so mad.
What?
So I know you like Victor Zsasz as a character.
Yeah.
Can you honestly tell me that they did him justice in this movie?
No, because I think he's a character that could get his own like movie.
He
Like, you
could
have
be
him
the
as a villain.
focal villain.
Yeah. I think the way they did it was terrible, but I honestly didn't even mind that guy that much. I thought like
No, it wasn't his fault.
He could have done okay with it, even with his bleach blonde hair or whatever. They didn't do it justice at all, and they could have done a lot more with that character than just had him be Black Mask's right-hand man.
Okay, so let's talk about the cast a little bit, and then we'll kind of get everybody's opinion on this. So obviously, we got Margot Robbie coming back as Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. You get kind of the Jared Leto flashback in there, even though they go out of their way to not show you his face. His terrible tattoo that says damaged across his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Huntress. I thought she was really, really good.
I thought she was good too.
For what they asked her to do. Journey Smollett Bell as Black Canary. Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya. We were
Is
talking
she
about.
related to Jussie Smollett at all?
I don't
Do you
have
have
any
relations?
idea.
Okay,
Couldn't tell you.
curious.
We were talking about Victor Zsasz. It was played by a guy named Chris Messina, who, like I said, did fine.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't think it was the way to use this character. Ali Wong shows up. She's a funny comedian. I like her. And we also get Ewan McGregor as Roman Sionis, a.k.a. Black Mask, who tried way too hard to be the Joker in this. Fair?
He was just an asshole.
I don't think it was his fault either. I think it was kind of the same thing with Victor Zsasz, where they just wrote him that way.
The way they wrote the villains in this, they were just assholes. There was no like they didn't go into like why they were like that.
Yeah.
You know,
They were
didn't give
they were a
any
little
good background.
flamboyant. Yeah, they were like flamboyant versions of like gangsters, kind
That's
of. Or at
fine.
least
Well, I
That's-
believe he was
that's fine,
supposed to
too.
be. I don't think he was supposed to be homosexual in this movie.
You can say gay.
Well-
Gay's not a bad word.
Okay, yeah, he was supposed to be gay.
That's the weird thing too, is they kind of tiptoe around it. Like if you want him to be gay, just let him be gay. Because they had
True.
they had those really weird vibes.
Yeah,
Where you're like,
with Zaz,
are
and-
they gonna kiss or is
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's just if you're gonna do it, just do it.
But also maybe it was just kind of adding to the absurdity of it all, just because Harley Quinn, the story of Harley Quinn is just pure absurdity the whole time anyway. So it's like the reason that he skinned the kid's face in the beginning was because she had a snot bubble. Ugh. That's kind of gross. Kill her anyway. That's the absurdity of Harley Quinn and that the universe that we're in.
That's kind of what I'm saying though about trying too hard to be like the Joker, like going full chaos.
But that's the universe that they're in.
Yeah, but in the universe that they're in, like Black Mask exists and he is a crime kingpin.
Yeah.
Like you already have a good character. Not everybody has to be wacky and crazy. Like you
Okay.
I think that the very obvious parallel for this is Deadpool, where you have the straight man or the other characters who are normal, and then you just have wacky, stupid ass Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
And that works. This is like great value store brand Deadpool.
That's a good take, kind of. Yeah. I like it.
Brick, give me your thoughts on the movie as a whole.
So I guess like what do you kind of look for in a Harley Quinn film? You know, like good costumes, you know, a good villain, you know, quality. Really, it's about the costumes, the quality settings, and like the fight choreography. And I think when you want to just turn your brain off and just see some decent moves and some decent action, I thought it was pretty good. The costumes were great. A lot of the characters alone, and then Harley Quinn just stood out like she was some sort of New York girl, just like kind of that hangs out in the streets a lot, and she's just like a crazy person, like with the firecracker arm shoulder pads or whatever the hell she was wearing. You know, it was entertaining and it was like it was joyful to watch. Also, like even the other characters, Black Canary. It seemed like every time that they did a close up to her face, she had more jewelry on, and I was like, okay, just the more jewelry of all time. But she also looked fantastic too. I love that hair, those dreads over to the side. The way she was rocking that was top tier.
By the way, Darian is in the chat and he says that yes, that is Jussie Smollett's sister.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I'm not going to put anything against her because it's Jussie Smollett's sister. I was just genuinely curious.
So I thought they did like good things in that regard. I thought like the grievance quick cuts were pretty funny. They had some good reasonings behind like the vendetta that she may have caused because she's just this agent of chaos. The other characters, I thought they did good on 3 of like the 5 characters. I guess 3.5 because Harley Quinn was good, Black Canary was good, and the Huntress was good. I thought Rosie Perez playing Renee. I felt like she wasn't talking out of her mouth. I felt like she was being a ventriloquist. I couldn't tell if she was talking or not. I was like, wait, did she say something or were they like looking at her while someone else was talking? She was actual ventriloquism at her finest. And then Cassandra Cain is the child who's like got this street rat thief, more or less. So I was watching some other kind of reviews on this, and it was a show I believe called Heavy Spoilers. They were talking about Cassandra Cain and her origin story, and she's one of like she's a Batgirl, apparently.
Batgirl, yeah, in one of the arcs.
But in this one, she like is one of like the most expert fighters because she got her mouth cut off, or she like can't speak or talk, or she can't read or speak, and so she like picks up on people's very acute like body language. So that's why she becomes a big fight fighter, because she can like predict where they're gonna go, kind of thing.
I don't think
and she had like a creepy mask.
Yeah, if
I'd love to
case,
see.
Like, I don't feel like they did a very good job of portraying that. In
they kind of did their own
not.
thing with Cassandra Cain. Given, I mean, yeah, she was a thief and all that stuff. This kid actor, I don't know who, Ella J. Bosco, I think her name is. She was fine, but she didn't put on a performance like a Stranger Things kid that's casted or anything like that. It was just kind of forgettable. Go on, Brick. I'll get into the shit that I just didn't care for in a minute.
No, go for it. I wrapped up there for now. What didn't you like about it?
This was what I did like. So I'll start with that. What I did like is I thought I like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn better in this than Suicide Squad, which isn't saying that much because she was the best part of Suicide Squad. But she did very well in this movie, and some of the best scenes were when she was in a fight scene. And it looked like she actually was doing a good amount of the initial fighting. And then if she did something crazy, like a backflip, obviously that's not her or whatever.
Okay.
And even just the overall action scenes with her on her rollerblades or whatever, that's what kind of captivated me. What I didn't like is
it was seamless and self-aware too. Like when she had the rollerblades on, Black Canary was like, when the hell did she even have time to do a shoe change? Like, and also it would hurt to get hit in the face with a roller skate, just getting kicked in the head. But go ahead.
Yeah. What I didn't like is that they're calling this a Birds of Prey movie when it's really hard. It's just a Harley Quinn movie. You don't need to put that in there because you get 10 minutes of the Birds of Prey together at the end. I don't think that's really a huge spoiler. You get the Birds of Prey throughout it as individual characters, and they do a shitty ass job giving us their backstory and who they are. And
I still don't even know who the fuck Rosie Perez is. I don't know what her character is.
Yeah. And these are amazing female characters within the DC and Batman universe. You have Huntress, who is probably one of my favorite female characters, just a complete badass where she came from. And I really enjoyed what's her name as
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I
thought
Huntress.
she was great.
Yeah, and they barely had her in there. Half the time you forget she's even in the movie because she gets like a 5-minute flash, or she has like a 5-minute scene and then she's gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they did a lot of that, like the flashbacks and the setups, and it was very disjointed.
Yeah, and also with the whole story, it was like super. It just seemed very plot driven when I think this should have been more like character driven. Like I said, they should have gone a little bit deeper into the characters and why Black Mask was the way he was, and why these female crime fighters and superheroes were coming together. They didn't. They were just so focused on this dumb ass, basic ass plot where you have this little girl that steals something and the bad guy wants to find her. That's the fucking plot of Dunstan Checks In, dude. Like, come on. I'm just like I could tell you, right? I got to think about it a little bit more, but I honestly think I know I like Shazam better. I may have liked Aquaman better than this. It was just not that good. It was mediocre.
You loved Aquaman. You're just being fooled by the title. The title literally says Birds of Prey because it's big font, and then it's the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So Harley Quinn story. And so I think you're looking for this movie. You want to see the settings and you want to see the crazy, combat and the ridiculousness of the universe. As a Harley Quinn fan, you wanted to see more of the origin stories and backgrounds of the actual Birds of Prey. And I guess that is misleading, but isn't it leading up to more or less a Birds of Prey movie? It really depends on how this does. DC doesn't really have a schedule like Marvel does where they can do these extra scenes at the end because they don't know if these movies are going to be good enough to do sequels. That's their problem, is they're not set in stone yet.
Yeah, right now this movie is not making enough money for a sequel.
I wanted to see less of this weak ass Sandra Kane focused plot and more of just the individual characters, because besides Harley Quinn, which was the best part of the movie, we did not get a good look at her other members of the Birds of Prey.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't think that I was in love with the Harley Quinn character as you guys were. She's good, but I don't know that she can carry an entire movie by herself. Like, I would have liked to see just more of the other characters. So that's my personal opinion. I thought the action was good. There are a lot of they reuse a lot of the same kind of action set pieces.
Yeah,
just in different locales. Like the slow motion backflip, if I would have counted how many times, I mean, I saw at least 6, I think.
Yeah,
she had a natural swing though. I will give her credit in that regard. Like when she was swinging that baseball bat, when she was swinging that giant hammer around, she did have an authentic swing where it looked like she was actually, putting the hips into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wanted more of her hyena too, Bruce.
Right.
Okay, let's
that
get
was
to that
so
in spoilers.
limited.
I think that let's rate it, and then we can talk more about plot and stuff. We'll give everybody a chance, if you haven't seen it, to pause and come back. For me, this is probably a stream it, and I don't know if it's just the fact that it's not like directed at me specifically. people are raving about this movie.
I don't get it. And
I was actually really relieved that
Yeah.
you came in last night and said it was fine.
Yeah.
Because my first reaction when I get out of a movie that everybody likes and I don't really care for that much,
You're like,
I'm like, what didn't I see? Like, what
Yeah.
did I miss? How
What
did I
did you not get?
misinterpret this?
Yeah.
So it was kind of validating, I guess. But this is a stream it from me. Mark?
yeah, I'm gonna say stream it too. I was honestly like close to saying skip it, but I'm gonna
It
say
definitely
stream
it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. I think I might actually rewatch this movie when it does come out to Blu-ray or whatever. But I'm actually this guy now on Facebook where I'm in like groups, especially revolved around comics, and just the people that are like 10 out of 10. I'm seeing it again tonight. I'm just like, dude, I get it. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is some of the best portrayal we've seen of this character. Actually, like the only portrayal.
Yeah.
But, dude, rethink what you just said. It wasn't that great of a movie.
I don't want to say like other people shouldn't
Yeah,
say that it's a 10.
you like what you
if you
like.
like it, you like it.
You like what
I
you
just
like, but
I guess the things that people are saying was great. I don't think they were as great.
yeah,
I don't know. Brick, what do you think?
whatever.
Okay, so both of you guys are going to get minus points for not saying to go see this movie. I
I figured this honestly, like Mark being the big DC head that he is, and me knowing enough about it, like I kind of figured that somebody with less of a connection to the comic books would probably like it better. Is that fair?
That probably makes sense because I was in it just to see some Harley Quinn psycho shit, and they had some good scenes. They had, let's go into spoilers, I guess. So I guess I'll see it just because fuck it.
Okay.
It was
fair.
fine. It was like it was good to see in theaters, but it will be even worse just streaming it, I think.
Okay, so I guess we'll say spoilers from this point forward. I'll throw a little spoiler dealie up in the corner there and try to not to screw everything up. So let's talk spoilers about this movie. I thought that the plot jumping around the way that it did just didn't make any fucking sense. They would start to tell a story and say, "Wait, I should back up." Like, no, I understand
that
you're
Harley
trying to
Quinn,
do the
though?
break the fourth wall thing,
Yeah.
but that is just really misleading. And you're I called it disjointed earlier, and that's what it felt like.
Maybe
But
I'm
it's
making
such a simple story, though. You kind of need it to be disjointed and stupid because that's the way Harley Quinn's brain is, first of all, because
Okay,
she's all
yeah.
over the place and she's a mess. And also, the story was so simple. You can't just do a linear story like that, or else it'd be trash, you know?
I guess I don't want this to turn into like I hated this movie because I didn't. I just these are the things that I think they did wrong. You talked about the hyena. I thought the hyena, like, you should have focused on that.
yeah.
That would have been way better. And there's a
He
point where they sell it as it's dead, and then later it just fucking shows back up.
Yeah.
I don't.
They should have had a John Wick 3 style scene where she and the hyena were doing dope shit. I thought.
Yeah, the hyena didn't even kill anybody.
It was just there in
but
the
it was
tub.
a cutscene kill. Where with
What
the
the
guy's
fuck?
arm, it was chewing its arm or whatever. The guy that was sexually assaulting her to get
Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
trade
yeah.
her the hyena.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess that was. I mean, that was like a smash cut, 5-second done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really didn't utilize the hyena as much as they should have. I agree with that.
So the other thing that they're just like, there's shit that doesn't make sense. Like at the very end, you're doing this big action set piece at the climax. They've just had this big fight scene inside this House of Mirrors type thing, and then they walk out of there like they forgot that there are a ton of bad guys just waiting for them.
Yeah. And they're like, oh shit. Yeah.
Like that. That's just like a kind of a weak. Let's move the plot along, like because Cassandra Cain had to disappear. Like there had to be that suspense, and to do it that way just felt dumb.
Also, to just kind of horseshoe in Canary has superpowers out of nowhere.
I don't
Not out of
that's-
nowhere. Those
so
are
that's
her superpowers, and that's another
Well, I
reason.
know that
like,
is her superpower, but I mean, the whole universe was just wacky enough to keep it somewhat realistic, you know? And then all of a sudden, she can out of nowhere, and
Well,
she can.
they dropped that in a couple places. Like Rosie Perez talks about it, who her mom was. Her
she
mom was
didn't
the
use
original
it
Black
because of her
Canary.
mom and shit. Yeah.
She does the thing in the club where she sings and hits a high note and glasses break. I guess I see your point. But I get
Like, the
again,
same
that's
effect-
like
to
a
the same
comic book
effect.
thing. Like if you say Black Canary, comic book readers know Black Canary, or like even if you just watch Green Arrow or whatever.
Even if you had played Injustice 2, you know, Black Canary
Sure.
has the voice thing. But it just seemed like the same effect could have happened because they wanted to get Harley Quinn rolling on those roller skates to like zoom past because they just, I don't know, for just Harley Quinn-ish, whatever.
Why
they
did
coulda
Mary
had the same-
Elizabeth Winstead wipe out? Like when she said "whip me,"
Yeah.
like why don't you just go faster?
Yeah, that didn't make sense either.
Yeah, and then turn. You're fine. Also, the same effect to the Canary voice thing. They could have just thrown a crazy, weird Harley Quinn grenade out there to smoke it up, and then she could have just had the momentum through the motorcycle and kept the whole universe somewhat realistic. I don't know. It just seemed like if of all the things, they didn't really need to have the super voice come out of nowhere, unless they're going to expand into actual superhero stuff. I guess whatever. I don't know.
Oh, we can keep going on Black Canary because she was fine with everything that Roman Sionis was doing the entire time up until he's in the club and like humiliates this girl.
Yeah.
That was the step that was too far.
Oh, yeah.
Kill as many people as you want. Cut this little girl's face off. But you embarrass somebody in the club, no. Not on your side anymore.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, fuck that. I will not stand for that. And then, of course, him and his giant army of men come to take down the birds of prey.
Obviously, men are evil.
Yeah. Oh, you have to. What did you guys think of the soundtrack?
It was very eclectic.
Ooh,
Like there was no theme to it overall. It was just kind of like random smattering of songs.
It's kind of like the Suicide Squad soundtrack.
I would
But it
argue
was
that
like-
the soundtrack was probably the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
It's a
Imagine
man's world. They had that. They had Black Betty. They had that Kesha motherfucker song. Kesha having a song in here totally makes sense. They have to have a Kesha song in there.
That's fair.
Motherfucker. That's what the song is. Like it's just Kesha saying motherfucker a bunch of times.
So, big spoiler for the people listening. You may want to tune out. I think the biggest spoiler is now we just are not going to have Black Mask.
Fucking so stupid.
So fucking. If you're gonna keep this universe going, those are characters you should keep, or at least learn from your mistakes. Which is you literally told us nothing about this character, and you didn't utilize him just being a huge mob boss. Half the time he's just with Victor Zsasz, where if you were smart, you would have him building up his army and showcasing his power and maybe like, you know,
Literally being a
his-
mob boss.
Yeah. Torturing people with his fucking giant mob. But no, all of a sudden he has a huge mob at the end, and then Birds of Prey finally get together and fight crime. But
Yeah, this was just like, I'm spoiled rich. Follow me. Like it's not, there's no character building there. So, whatever.
yeah, he blew up.
Rick,
from a
you didn't really
grenade.
talk
He's gone.
about your villains. Like, what did you think of the villains in this?
I thought they probably could have either kept him alive or they didn't like his performance, so they killed him.
It's Ewan McGregor.
think-
You can't not like Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. I liked him but I also
As a
accepted
dick.
him into this wacky universe
It's a
as
crazy,
well.
stupid person. Yeah.
But one of the things that I liked though, for like action wise, I just put in one of my dumb comments. Did that guy just get Hurricane Rona'd off a pier and then explode from a secret hand grenade? And that's how the movie that was awesome. I was like, that's some Harley Quinn shit that I expect, you know?
Mhm.
And then it just kind of ends, and they all go their separate ways.
Yeah. My favorite scene though was in the police station. I thought that was an awesome scene with the colors, how
baseball
they
bat.
shot, all the cinematography and the choreography with the fighting. That was
the first thing
really good.
I was like, what would be the most absurd scenes that you'd see? What do you expect from a Harley Quinn movie? Is like, oh, she goes into a police station and just creates havoc because she's a psychopath. She goes to a fun house where it's an actual fun house, not just a house of mirrors. And then it's like a foggy ass pier. And I don't know. I thought the settings that they had for Gotham City were pretty cool.
They did a good job of setting up like her complete blind luck
Mm-hmm.
in the very beginning. So that was okay. Like I said, I'm saying
A lot of
negative
pull
things
from
about it.
Deadpool,
It
too.
wasn't that bad. Like,
Yeah.
it was enjoyable.
Why
I
we're
will
saying screen it.
rewatch this with Erica, and like it's funny at points. It's not like laugh out loud funny, but I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah.
So
I just
anything
think
else?
they could have done. I just think they could have done more with the characters. And I'm just telling you, I just didn't care for this plot. It was just so basic and just not clever at all. It's you
Basic
could do
as
so many
fuck.
things with all these people,
Yeah.
and you fucked it up.
Anything else we want to say before we wrap this up?
No, but I do have a final request from you guys. Give me one reason or two reasons. Give me a few reasons why you would want to see Mark see it and why you would like to see Smithers see it. Cats.
Well, I want to see Mark see it so that he actually pays off a bet for a change.
Okay.
And also, I hate his face. His dumb face is just dumb.
Yeah, you ever seen Smithers' head? Look at his head, Brick. Stupid.
Take your hat off.
Just stupid.
Take your Tao hat off, you dork ass.
Just
Who's got a
stupid.
stupider head? Mark obviously has the stupider head.
I didn't see the Mark head. Mark head? Let me see your Mark head again.
Such a stupid head.
Somebody told me that I had bad hair, but apparently it was Mark said it, but Smithers said that you said it.
Technically, I ratted on Mark.
No, Smithers said it for sure.
Are you going to make a ruling right now, or are we going to?
I will. I'll make a ruling right now. Based on this points, we had 5 points to Smithers for.
I thought you said the points didn't matter.
The points, maybe they do. I got it.
You
Who
weren't
knows?
listening.
It depends on who won, and then whether I agree with it or not.
If you knew Brick at all, you would know he's a wild card, right, Brick?
Absolutely. Points. Wow, extra points, and that's a bonus points for Mark for the late.
I think
late heroic.
I'm fine with my. Like Dave Chappelle taught me that sometimes keeping it real goes wrong, and like I'm fine with the things that I said, calling Mark a coward for not for just like kissing your ass the entire time.
You're seeing cats.
I don't even care.
You're kissing my ass by dropping Dave Chappelle references. You know it. Keeping it real. That's points. You know it. Okay, so we had 5 points to Smithers for returning a dog. That was good. And then I had +1 for my wife. You said that. I liked when you said that. My wife. After you said my wife. You said minus points for not negotiating for your soul. I did want to have contract negotiations for your soul. There was no negotiations. That's minus a point. There was a plus a point that was blank. I forgot to put the reasoning behind it. +1 for throwing Mark under the bus for when he peed with the door closed.
Open.
Or he didn't pee with the door closed.
Door open,
Yep,
yeah.
it was
Door
open.
open.
It was open.
Upstairs
So
bathroom.
Who cares?
plus points
Who's
for
there?
throwing.
I am.
Fuck you.
You got +3 points for pointing out the hamburger fiasco. That was good points.
Hamburger.
+1 for Mark not paying off his bets. We do want to see that happen one of these days. Okay, and then dorkass. I heard a dorkass in there. That's a good word to use. That's
Who
plus
said
points for
dork
there.
ass? Smithers didn't.
Yeah, he did. I heard a dorkass.
I absolutely called you a dorkass. You dork
Also,
ass.
plus points for keeping it
It's not in my
real.
Dictionary.
That's a pretty good total of 18 brick points. Mark?
Brick points. Got to brand it.
Brick point. Okay, minus points for being smartass. Mark, you started at -0 because you originally had -1 point for something I forgot about. Or no, but then you gained a point back for telling me to record the XFL, which was smart because we can skip to the commercials. -2 for the Channing Tatum take. +2 for suck up points. +1 for suck up points. Minus for peeing with the door open. -1 for the grimace points. +5 for Marky Mark. +5 for the Hamburglar. Minus points for the stupid head. Plus points. Honestly, this one kind of takes the home. It's +10 points because he will not see it, even if I tell him he's going to see it. He is going to renege on the on the business here. There were 2 auto winners that I wanted to explain to you beforehand. Smithers, if you would have said, as is tradition, that Mark is a loser and he should always see these movies. If we're talking about Mark always losing, if you would have said as is tradition or got that to come up, you would have
that
automatically
specific
won.
phrase exactly.
Yeah, that's a
As is like the South Park one, as is tradition.
As is
If you would have gotten
tradition.
that to come up early on in the episode, I do kind of get to a couple of trying to nudge you there. And then Mark, if you would have told Smithers about the text I sent you a week ago that it was him going to see the movie, you would have lost immediately. So Smithers, unfortunately, you have to see Cats because
That's fine. I'll actually pay
you
my bet
always
off.
win. I agree. And if I would have went with Mark, he wouldn't have paid the bet off. It was super unfortunate.
I will go out of my way though the day he goes to see it just to swing by the movie theater, walk into the theater, make sure he's comfy in his chair, wave at him, and then I'll probably go see that dog movie with Harrison Ford.
Okay, if you film that, you should film that actually.
It's adorable. You think I'm going to go see this in theaters?
You have to.
No, we don't. That was never in the bet.
You got to.
Wasn't in the bet. But for all intents and purposes,
not going to see this in the theater. I'm going to get high as balls and drink a bunch of wine and watch Cats.
All right.
And probably actually have a good time because I'll just rip on this movie the whole time.
So I will say this. Next time we should have to live stream it. You don't have to live stream it while you watch it, but next time it should be included that we have to live stream while we watch the stupid movie at home.
I actually have a good idea.
But then Mark's going to lose the bet and not actually pay it off.
Let's just
we'll make him lose the bet.
Let's just live stream of like super zoom up of just Smithers' face while he's watching it.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, that's like just be like, I would love to see how Grumpelstiltskin he would actually get because it's all good and dandy sending him to do it because you wouldn't do it obviously, but it's all about seeing the reaction of it behind like the goddamn I have to watch Cats face. We don't get to see that.
I will say it's kind of horseshit that you're making me see it just because you know that Mark wouldn't pay the bet off.
No, yeah, I agree, but I did want to see you see it. You always win. So
well, that's because Mark is a terrible gambler.
Mark is a terrible gambler. That's very true.
DC Defenders are winning this year.
Yeah, right.
We need to come up with bets for that. I might actually buy some like gear, some shirts.
I think Under Armour makes some actual gear, but
some quarter zips.
I don't know. The best logo is probably the Seattle Dragons.
Yeah,
I agree. They also have the worst odds to make it to they're like the worst team apparently. Yeah. I think the Renegades have Bob Stoops and Landry Jones who might play. I don't know. But what's the difference between like the XFL and the AFL? Like, is there major differences? Whatever. The forgettable one.
I guess the big difference is that Vince McMahon actually has money and can keep it going. I totally forgot to mention this, but I was trying to explain to Erica that like there's more football coming and it's a different league. And I led with like Vince McMahon, the guy that runs the WWE. And apparently I did a bad job explaining this because she thought that wrestlers were going to play football against each other, which actually would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like off the top rope as a tackle, like.
But also
having fucking amazing.
Also having all the games scripted as shit would be insane. So all the games would be amazing.
Yeah.
I really like the rule for overtime where it's kind of like a soccer shootout.
Well,
where
that's
you have 5 rounds.
How the NFL should be. It's how college football does it, where like everybody gets a shot.
Yeah.
That was that was probably the only reason that the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl last year, is because they went to overtime, lost a coin toss, and the Patriots just went down the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
The extra point shit is cool too. How they can't kick. They just can go like, what is it, 5, 10, or 20 yards or something?
Yeah, something like that. But
for points.
The best thing that'll come out of this is that the NFL will probably adopt new rules. Like even from the AAF, the Sky Judge.
Yeah.
That's the NFL implemented that this year, and that came from the AAF.
Really?
So like, I don't remember what they pulled from the old XFL. It was the overhead cameras. Because the XFL did that. They brought in new camera angles and shit that the NFL wasn't doing until they did it the first time. So maybe they'll get some new rules out of it. They're trying to get rid of like kickoffs and onside kicks and shit and trying to make it more fair, because an onside kick in the NFL is fucking impossible now.
I do think there's a lot of opportunity for some high octane action in terms of
that's
offense.
why they made all the rules for the most part.
And I think because Vince McMahon had already failed at this and realized that all the extra hits, all the late, they focused on defense the original time. Yeah. And that's not going to win games. That's not going to bring people in, as people not being able to run the ball or not being able to move the ball. It's all about the flash. I think they changed the rules accordingly to kind of put on some very unique playmaking ability. And they got some people that Landry Jones, Bob Stoops. I mean, Cardell Jones is the quarterback for the DC Defenders.
Mark Trestman is coaching the Vipers.
Mark Trestman on the Vipers. Like they have some names that out there, which is I think different from more or less the AAF. AAF was kind of like the farming system, I feel, for the NFL. That's that's what it felt like. And also timing is also pretty big because I this morning was like, damn, I wish football was on. And then I didn't even realize the XFL is on because you just have that hangover from the Super Bowl.
What happened to Donald Pumphrey? He was the leading rusher in the NCAA.
I don't know.
He has the record. And
maybe he had that
XFL now.
combine. Like a lot of players you look at in college and you're like, that works because they're running the triple option or whatever.
Yeah.
Like something that definitely wouldn't ever translate to the NFL. So,
but also now there's a new offense. You can do 2 forward passes. You can there's these new rules implemented that can kind of make these players pop again.
The kick return stuff with the punts and just the kickoff, how they have to stay at the scrimmage or whatever until they catch the ball. That's going to
they can't move until they catch the ball. Yeah, it's going to cause for some crazy plays, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I don't know. I'm going to watch it because God knows I'm not going to watch the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
So,
should we finish out the draft? Do we know the teams?
I have no idea what all the teams are.
Why don't we just keep one team? There's 8 teams. We're just going to pick 3 of them.
One team.
Whoever goes the farthest.
Wilpo will be in on the Battlehawks. He said if this is betting involved, he'll be in.
Speaking of people who don't pay off their fucking bets, he was supposed to.
Where's his ass? His ass needs to be waxed. Ass wax.
All right, that's going to wrap up episode 181. Do you see slightly the dog's face sitting right here? That's
a good boy.
Just adorable.
10 points to Smithers. Marcus, let's see the movie. Just kidding.
I'm just glad that he's not going to kiss your ass anymore. Anyways, this has been episode 181 of the Chumpcast. If you haven't gotten your tickets for C2E2 yet, make sure you do that. We will be streaming D&D, our second session, next Saturday, the 15th.
When can we expect the Cats review?
That's a good question. I'm going to see if I can find it online and steal it because I'm definitely not going to go to the theater.
Oh, wow.
Oh, please. I'm not going to take shit about not paying off a bet immediately when he's on the fucking show.
Points to Mark, by the way. He did not point to me.
I don't care about your points anymore. Your points didn't matter in the first place.
No,
you can't even say fucking Hamburglar.
Hamburglar.
You physically pointed at Mark when you said
whatever.
That, not.
Anyways, until next time.
Chumps out, motherfuckers. Peace.